Hello, Richmond Baptist. How are you? What have you been doing for summer? Well, I must say that we are appreciating the season a lot. Before moving to Canada, most of our days in Brazil were sunny and warm. So when we moved here, after a cold and dark winter, we really appreciate this season. I know that God made all seasons and they are all good. But it's easier to feel happy when you go outside, can be more active and run and swim without the rain and cold, right? Happiness is a feeling that may change with the weather or depending on the situation. And as Christians, we don't have to be happy all the times. It is okay to feel sad when you are distant from your family and they are locked down in another country, or when someone you love is sick, or by any other reason, The scriptures do not say that we were made to be happy, and we do have to feel happy 100% of the time. Jesus never promised happiness because he knew it may come and go. What Jesus promised to give us is joy. And joy is a difficult feeling to understand, and it can only be clearly seen during sad times. During good times, it is difficult to realize joy because it mingles into happiness. But during hard times, joy shines. Soon after Jesus resurrected, the animosity between new believers and the Roman government increased. Christians were spread in all Roman Empire, running from persecution. They need encouragement. At the same time, they need answers. So why the followers of the King of Kings ought to be persecuted? And why should they suffer and have their lives threatened? They did no wrong, and they were living hard times. So James wrote to them. I'll read James 1, chapter 1, from verses 1 to 4. James, a servant of God and the Lord Jesus Christ, to the 12 tribes scattered among the nations. Greetings. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking in anything. On verse 2, James says two important things. The first one is that we will face trials. We as Christians will face difficult times. There is no such promise of calm water in this world. So when we find ourselves in the middle of a worldly crisis or a financial crisis or a marriage crisis, do not be surprised. Do not be scared. And then he moves to the second and most challenging point. Consider it pure joy. So, do you find this gospel normal? Because I don't. How can one consider it pure joy on a crisis? I don't think our human nature understands it or can achieve it alone. So, why should we consider it pure joy? And James continues. Because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. So, how important it is for Christians to trust God. It's so important, James writes, that we should call our worst moment joyful things because trials help us to trust God. Struggles help us to develop a deeper trust in God. This is trusting faith. Biblical saving faith is not a mere intellectual knowledge. It is trust. A faith that saves is the kind of faith which naturally produces action. We must face time as pure joy, not because we think that we can handle it, but because we have faith in Jesus. And this faith gives us the assurance that He is the one in control. So despite the size of the problem, our God is bigger, stronger, and remains with us during all the time. We ought to put all our faith in God. I've been passing through difficult times lately. Studying, working, homeschooling, all this far away from my parents. And I know that you're probably in a similar situation. So let's consider it pure joy because we know God is purifying our faith. Because He's in control of all the world, all our life and future. The Lord wants us to depend only on Him, to rely on and trust in God alone. I know it's hard, but God is stronger. Trust Him.